So this is borrowed footage, just to let you know. Well, come to think of it, you can actually tell by the bottom right corner. Wish that wasn't there, I really do. This is the HD version. I'm mainly showing this off because, well, I lost the footage for some of this. Like, I completely forgot. I guess I didn't record it? Because I stopped the recording, and that's why the previous video cut so quickly. And I guess I forgot to turn it back on when I was, like, recording again. So, this is a happy coincidence. This is a good opportunity for me to talk more about the HD version. It makes sense that they would have, like, air underwater here because you're entering Old Hyrule, and I guess it's a magical spell that creates an air bubble, preserving it for some reason. I'm not sure why they would ever preserve it, other than to make Link able to breathe here. In the original version of the game, this was a lot more black and white, as it should be. Here, the color is just faded. Because, like, honestly, I think either way worked. I don't see why they had to change it so that it was in color. The text scrolls a lot faster in the HD version. Oh, look at that! They made the text scroll slightly faster! I don't know. I mean, it's not like Harvest Moon Fundamental Town where you can rotate the control stick to make the text scroll really quickly and just, like, it's not quite as fast as it should be. And you're still seeing text reminding you of what items are every time you get them and stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of other improvements I haven't talked about yet. Like, as you can see... Oh yeah, like, selfies are a thing in the HD version. You can take a picture of yourself for no reason whatsoever. This was totally worth wasting development time on. Also, you can have 12 photographs at once. Plus more if you have photos from the Tingle bottle to carry over. Yeah, because there's a Tingle bottle in this game that lamely replaces the Tingle tuner, even though it's on the Wii U, and you think that the gamepad is perfect for the Tingle tuner. But no, they just removed that for no reason. So now you can't have an easy way to get health restorations to spend your money in the early game. Oh no. That's lame. But yeah, they do increase the amount of photographs you can have to make the Nintendo Gallery side quest easier. And you can turn over all of your photos up to the gallery at once. You don't have to only turn in one photograph and then change the time of day. And there's no monochrome camera at all. Like, you just start out with the colored camera. So the Firefly is kind of pointless. I find this slide puzzle to be really annoying because it's kind of unintuitive where the blocks go when you try to push them. And plus, like, he was pulling there, and it wasn't actually going towards him, and then he moved in a different position and it did. I've got a bit of a logic question here with that slide puzzle. I'll just let this awkward zombie comic speak for itself. Yeah. That doesn't really make much sense, does it? Also, in the HD version, originally, if you forgot what a fish told you, it would suck, because you would give it bait again, and he would just complain about you giving him bait again. But in the HD version, you can actually tap the fish icon on the C chart on the gamepad, and you'll just get... he'll talk to you again. Like, the gamepad can make the game more convenient because you can change your inventory in real time. I don't like the idea of the real-time inventory system though, because they have that problem in Magical Melody where you can change the inventory in real time, but only in real time, so time is still passing. And like stuff is still happening while you're going through your inventory. Like you can thankfully have the option to not use the gamepad at all in this game. So like I just don't see the point of, like, sure it gives you something to do while you're sailing, but only for like a couple of seconds. Also, the inventory screen looks kind of different in the HD version. I don't really see the point. I think it looked perfect in the original game. And in the GameCube version, turning the camera right meant pressing right on the camera stick. They invert it in the HD version, but they have a whole bunch of different camera options, like reverse, up, down, first person, and third person view are added options. I don't see the point of adding all sorts of different camera options, but I guess they're there if you want them. And the grappling hook animation for when you grab onto a hook, it's shortened. Like the animation with the rope tying around the thing, it's shortened in the HD version. And there's also a sail that you could get called the Swift Sail that you got in the auction. And it would make you a lot faster when you were sailing, and it would remove the necessity of having to constantly change the direction of the wind. Those are the 7 stages of Ocarina of Time, by the way. But they removed sail pumping. So now, in order to sail slightly faster with the Swift Sail, you have to constantly make a annoying binging sound when you constantly activate the Swift Sail over and over again. So that really gets grating when you're watching speedruns of the HD version. We're back to my footage now, obviously. So, the Swift Sail, it's a great idea. It's great that it's in there, but it just makes me angry that it wasn't in the original game. Nobody liked the constantly having to stop and change the direction of the wind mechanic. Like, it's realistic, but I don't really care for it. And, you have to win the Swift Sail at the auction. It's not like you can just buy the sail and it has those properties right from the start. Why? Would it be too unrealistic? Because the mere existence of the Swift Sail is unrealistic, so you might as well go all the way and have the sail be that way from the beginning. And, you have to win at the auction, too, that's the thing. And you have to wait until night to start the auction. And I don't know how long you have to wait before you even can do the auction. Maybe you have to wait after Ganon's Curse or something? Maybe you could just get away with sailing away to Dragon Roost Island, getting the wind direction to change, and then waiting for night. I don't know. This part of the game is just blatant padding. Also, something that really annoyed me about the HD version was that in the advertising for it, in the promotional material, they showed Tetra standing beside Link in all sorts of places where she's never in the final game. She would stand beside him outside in Windfall Island. And that got me kind of hyped, and a lot of people too, because they're thinking, oh my god, are they going to do something more with Tetra's character? Or are they going to let her, it would have been cool if you had her as an AI partner that could attack enemies with you. And she was with you for the whole game, like Zelda's Spirit in Spirit Tracks. That would have been cool if they did more with Tetra's character. If maybe they had a multiplayer where you could play as Tetra, and she had all the same. It would be nice if she had all the same items and sword as Link. Maybe she could have the hero sword. Actually do something with the hero sword, because it kind of vanishes after you get the Master Sword. Whereas in Twilight Princess, you can make a challenge run for yourself and unequip the Master Sword whenever you want. But here you're just thinking, well, Orca gave you that sword, and you're just destroying it, Link. You're just, what happened to it? Why couldn't you just give the hero sword to Medley? I can understand Macra because he's so short, but really? You're just gonna get rid of it? And, you saw that the lighting was different in the HD version. The lighting was brighter in some areas and darker in others. One of the things that I don't like about that is that it really does look like the shadows are in the wrong place. Windfall Island, when I first saw what Windfall Island looked like in the HD version, I was like, this looks wrong. Like, the shadows are not in the places where I'd expect them to be. By the way, walking into that gate leads me to another thing that I want to talk about the HD version. They actually discovered a cool glitch called the barrier skip. Now, I'm not sure if this is in the original version of the game, but basically, the barrier skip it's been the holy grail of the speedrunning for this game for a very long time, and there was even a fake video about it. Like, a lot of people have wanted to just be able to skip the Triforce quest entirely. And eventually, the HD version, people discovered a barrier skip glitch. Basically, it involves you inch towards the barrier, and you use the Wind Waker, and then use it again. So you kind of clip through it, and then you very carefully turn around to the right and walk towards the right wall, and get right up close to it and walk towards it and stuff. I think you have to be at a very specific angle, and then you use the hook shot on a really far away P-hat. I'm not sure you're supposed to see it or target it or whatever, and it just brings you towards it. That's a really annoying section because, like, how am I supposed to see where exactly I should be shooting my arrow when he's in a pink cloud above me? Not to mention that you have the sensitive controls with targeting in first person. Like, I saved right before that just to make absolutely sure. Because you only have a limited amount of time before you get sucked up by the tornado and sent somewhere else, and they have to find the tornado again. And you know what's really annoying about the tornado teleportation system you just unlocked? You see a whole bunch of hurricanes on a whole bunch of different islands. Like, Shark Island has a hurricane. But you can't warp to Shark Island. Why? Like, a lot of people have complained about how long it takes to sail to different islands in this game. And I think that a lot less people would have complained if, well, not only, obviously, you unlock the warp song a lot earlier, because the early game drags out, because you can't warp, and so you have to sail directly to every island. But I think warping to any island you want would be great. Like, in fact, like this. With Mother Child Island, you can only warp inside of Mother Island. So, that's annoying, because it would have been really convenient to be able to also warp to Child Island. And, like, then you'd have a warp destination that's pretty close to Forsaken Fortress. And Star Island stuff. But no. And the HD version doesn't fix that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, you can shoot the beetle ship with the bomb and damage it. And it actually causes it to stop moving around, which is good, because it can it can be hard to swim up to and catch. I remember seeing arrows advertised in one of the beetle ships, I think it's the Windfall Island one, and it advertised that the arrows would fly really fast. And when I was a kid, I wondered if it actually meant something, like if flying those specific arrows would mean that the arrows would be sent out of my bow a lot faster. They shouldn't tell you that if... I don't understand why the red choo-choos... Their jelly is so worthless, like it's just 1 rupee per choo-choo jelly. It's really good that you can have someone to sell all your spoils to. I don't recommend selling the Boko Baba seeds though, because they're good for getting free blue potions. I'm totally not stalling so that I don't have to get to Forsaken Fortress right away. Oh no. Why would I do that? Well, Forsaken Fortress 2 isn't really that bad. It's a hell of a lot better than the stealth section associated with it. Right here, I'm going to get a piece of heart. And see? The tree is right there. And like, something I haven't pointed out yet is that that tree, if it's going to become giant later on, wouldn't its roots go through the ground of the tiny spiraling island? And like, wouldn't it wouldn't the island be too tiny for it? I mean, maybe the island rises out of this huge mountain underneath the sea. Like, maybe all of the islands are just the peaks of huge mountains from Hyrule. So, in which case it wouldn't really matter how small the island is, because the roots can be as deep as they want. That's a pretty nice way to get a heart. Like, it's pretty creative. I like that.